Hello and welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's story is perfect for A1 to A2 level learners. It is a simple, warm, and inspiring story that everyone can enjoy. At the end of the story, we will also look at some important words, their meanings, and how to use them in sentences. So, make yourself comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's begin. In a small, quiet town, there lived a young boy named Oliver. He lived with his grandmother in a little house at the end of a narrow street. The house was old, but it was warm and full of love. Every evening, Oliver and his grandmother sat by the window and watched the sky grow dark. Oliver liked the night, but he was also a little afraid of the dark. One evening, as the sun slowly disappeared, Oliver noticed something strange. Far away, on a hill near the town, he saw a small light. It was not very bright, but it did not move. "Grandmother," he thought quietly, "what is that light?" His grandmother smiled softly. She told him that no one really knew. Some people said it was an old lamp. Others said it was something special. Oliver looked at the light again. He felt curious. That night, Oliver could not stop thinking about the light. Why was it always there? Who turned it on? The next morning, he made a small decision. He wanted to see it for himself. He packed a small bag with water, bread, and an apple. Then he told his grandmother he was going for a walk. She looked at him carefully, but she trusted him. "Be safe," she said softly. Oliver walked through the town and towards the hill. The road was long, but the weather was kind. He passed small houses, quiet streets, and green fields. The world felt bigger than he remembered. After some time, he began to feel tired. His legs were slow, and his bag felt heavy. For a moment, he wanted to go back home. But then he looked at the hill again. The light was still there, waiting. Oliver took a deep breath and kept walking. Step by step, he moved closer to the hill. The path became steeper, and the wind grew stronger, but Oliver did not stop. He remembered his grandmother's smile. He remembered how warm his home felt, and somehow that gave him strength. Finally, Oliver reached the top of the hill. He looked around, trying to find the light. Then he saw it. It was a small lantern hanging on a wooden post. The light was soft but steady. Next to it, there was a small bench, and on the bench, there was an old man. The old man smiled when he saw Oliver. He did not look surprised. It was as if he had been waiting. Oliver sat next to him quietly. They did not speak for a while. They simply looked at the town below. The houses looked small. The streets looked calm. Everything felt peaceful. The old man finally spoke. He explained that he came to the hill every evening. He lit the lantern for people in the town. Why? Oliver wondered quietly. The man said that sometimes people needed a small light. Not a big one. Just something to remind them that they were not alone. Oliver listened carefully. The words felt simple, but important. As the sky grew darker, the light became more visible. Oliver looked at the town again. He imagined people in their homes, looking out of their windows. Maybe some of them felt tired. Maybe some of them felt lonely. And maybe they saw this little light, a small sign of hope. When Oliver returned home that night, he felt different. The dark no longer felt so scary, because now he knew something. Even in the darkest moments, there could always be a small light, and sometimes that light could be a person. Right then, let's have a look at the words in today's story. Our first word is quiet. Quiet means not loud, calm and peaceful. For example, the street was quiet at night. Next, we have strange. Strange means something unusual or different. For example, he saw a strange light in the sky. Now let's look at hill. A hill is a small mountain. For example, they walked up the hill together. The next word is lantern. A lantern is a small light that you can carry. For example, the lantern helped them see in the dark. Moving on to path. A path is a small road or way that people walk on. For example, the path was narrow but safe. Now we have steep. Steep means going up very quickly, not flat. For example, the hill was steep and difficult to climb. And finally, peaceful. Peaceful means calm, quiet, and relaxing. For example, the village was peaceful in the evening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to support our channel by liking and subscribing. And if you want to improve your English step by step, you can download our app WordRise on Google Play. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next story.